On the first of the month, my wife and I, Megan, sit down for about 30 to 45 minutes. Doesn't matter what day it is. We always sit down on that first of the day and we reboot our relationship. What I mean is we go over everything that has been going on the past month. We talk about future months to get on the same page so we can always be in a good spot. So first thing we talk about is our finances. How did we do that month? Did we save money? Did we not save money? Do we have some goals that we're trying to get to? How far along are we with those goals? Are there things that we should spend more on in the future? Are there stuff that we should spend less on in the future? We go over everything, not too into detail, just enough. Maybe it takes 5-10 minutes to just get a full picture of what's going on. That way, this doesn't have to be a conversation every single day and we can just basically batch, right? And the whole thing and why we do this 30 to 45 minute sit down every month is because it is batching. We can have all the conversation that we need to and then execute for the rest of the month and then come back and we know we're always gonna have that conversation. It can waste a lot of time if we're talking about it 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, every couple of days and not really being on the same page. Next, we talk about plans for the month ahead and potentially for future months ahead. We look at the calendar, we look at, okay, what do we have on the books? What are we doing? Is there anything that we want to plan for? Do we want to do some sort of dinner? Do we want to hang out with other couples, other friends? What do we want to do? Of course, that can't all necessarily be decided in that little 45 to an hour window. We just do as much as we can just so we can plan ahead. Sometimes there's restaurants we want to go to that you need to get reservations, and let's say there's a random Friday or Saturday that if we didn't plan it, we wanted to go out and now we can't. That's kind of annoying. We could have just done that a couple weeks ago. Also, you might want to plan things for the future, a couple months ahead. Any big events that we're doing, any kind of traveling that we want to do. It's good to be on the same page, but also plan ahead so we can actually do things. I found doing planning like this is always helpful because there was times where we wouldn't have this meeting and we'd be doing everything last minute and we wouldn't be able to do the fun things that we wanted to do. Or we'd feel just a little bit out of sorts and a little bit messy because we weren't organized, which would not allow us to get things done. So really this is something that I experimented with and I kind of learned along the way, and now it's become this kind of tight 45 minutes, an hour if it has to be, only because I made these mistakes in the past and we weren't able to do the things we wanted to do. Next, we talk about goals. And this could be separate goals, maybe goals that I have, maybe goals that she has, maybe it's for the relationship in general. Are there any goals or things that we want to accomplish? Are we getting on a new workout regimen? Are we trying a new diet together? Are there things that we want to do together as a couple that we're not doing enough of? Do we want to see more family? Are we trying to get on the phone and talk to more of our friends and have more of those personal relationships? So whether or not it's about us or about the relationship, we can help each other out. We can give each other ideas, and two heads are better than one when it comes to just coming up with some of these ideas, because you never know what someone else has to say in terms of getting your goals to a better place. Also, it helps to talk about quantifying those goals, talking about, okay, so what does that mean to you if you want to do this workout, if you want to read this certain book, if you are diving into some new material or course material that you're learning on any sort of topic, right? Just good to be talking about those things. And the reason why I should mention this is a 30, 45 minute, hour at the most meeting is because it doesn't need to be drawn out. You don't need to go into all the little nitty gritty specifics. It's better just to touch upon them so you can get enough done. And sometimes when you go too overboard or too much into detail, it just kind of kills the whole process in general. I should mention I have a community of guys who are in my Irresistible Academy, and it's an academy where every single month you get new material on how to be a more irresistible version of yourself. So we go into some of these things in terms of what kind of goals that you could have to be a better man. We talk about style and fashion, we talk about your finances, we talk about productivity, we talk about health, all those good things. If you want to check that out, again, that's tripadvice.com/academy, and there's a link down in the description below. This is where it gets a little bit more tough. We do talk about any issues or problems that come up. This shouldn't just be a conversation that's all fluffy and happy. This is gonna help with resentment, and also it's gonna help with optimizing the time. Instead of you guys having deep or intense conversations or issues that you have with each other every single day a little bit, you can sit down and have more of a discussion. Now, if there are issues, if there's things that you need to talk about, that you have a problem with the other person, they're doing something that you don't like, whatever it may be, It may be a longer conversation. That's okay. Once you're into that material and it goes over an hour, this is way more productive, so you can solve that and then have a great month. I've also found that those things don't always come up. If they do, that means there might be something wrong with the relationship. And if you're not, you're gonna have that shorter meeting. And next, optimizing anything that needs to be done. So you guys have a certain way of doing things for your household, right? You're running the household like a business. That's why this is almost like a business meeting. So what needs to be optimized? What could be better? Are there errands that need to be run? Are there things around the house that need to be done better? What can you do to make it a more seamless process? You can also add that into the conversation if it needs to be done.